Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the London Sevens, the third quarterfinal matchup taking place, and this one is a biggie. It's between Fiji and the Australians. Looking through, first of all, at this Fiji starting lineup, it will be Seven Mothunothangi, also Naya Thalevu, Patita Ringa, Waisi Natungu, Tario Tamani, Felipe Saturanga, and Manueli Moa, the last man in this starting lineup for the Fijians. Then for the Australians, Nick Maloof, Nathan Lawson, also Tim Clements, Maurice Longbottom, Dietrich Roach, Matthew Gonzalez, and James Turner. So these two sides have had some pretty decent runs so far. Fiji, they've been able to beat Ireland. They lost to Argentina, 40 points to 12. They were not happy with that game at all and managed to get themselves the victory over the Australians most recently. And cracking way to end a lazy Sunday, says Hanoi, and go Fiji, says Tubalavu. Of course, we've already seen their Pacific Island brothers Samoa making their way through to the semi-finals. They are going head-to-head with the Argentines. Should also be a very awesome game. Fiji 20, Aussie 10, close game, says Kevin Layla, and the Fijian flags from Viniana. Haven't seen too much support so far for the Australians, I have to say. It seems like there is definitely a nation behind the Fijians for this contest, which is great to see. Australia will be kicking this one off, going from a left to right. It will be Maurice Longbottom, one of the more experienced players on the field for the Aussies in this contest. Ready to go. Nathan Lawson, he'll be looking to try and jump up and take this one, but instead it's Nick Maloof goes after it. The Fijians able to claim it in the form of Felipe Saturanga. Now Sevu Mothunothangi passes across to Manueli Moa. Good step. Breaks through the tackle with Matthew Gonzalez. Currently the Fijians on their own 22-metre line. Nice Saladamu there from Tario Tamani. He is certainly one to watch out for. The Fijian side for this contest. Moa, inside ball. Keeping the ball alive here. Patita Ringa. The penalty goes the way of Fiji for not rolling away against the Australians. Quick tap taken by Filippo Saturanga. They want this game to be played at a fast tempo, Fiji. They feel their cardio will be able to live up to what it needs to. Nice big run from Patita Ringa there. Moves to 40 metres out from the Fijian try line. Mothunothangi goes back across to Saturanga, who pins the ears back. Breaks two tackle. He's got Dietrich Roach on him. And he manages to make a brilliant low tackle there. Penalty goes the way of the Fijians again. Looking for the quick tap. It's going to be away. Solio does go off now to the left-hand side. Mothunothangi, the big man, didn't get the offload away that he would have liked. Tario Tamani, short ball there. Brilliant attack and run from Wale Saliso. Now back across wide for Fiji. They have had 99% of the possession so far. The only time the Aussies touched the ball was when they kicked off and the Fijians break through. And first try of the contest gets themselves the 5-0 lead, and it's Waisi Natungu who was able to cross the line first. Winner Samoa versus Argentina, says Jason. That game will be taking place at 12:33 a.m. New Zealand time. So still 3 hours away from that contest, but it's going to be an absolutely awesome one, that is for sure. And morning from wet Cape Town. Sun coming out now, says Roof. Welcome in, Roof. You are doing well, and the score says Tubalavu. It was indeed for the Fijians. It's going to be a tough kick near the touchline for Natungu, and he's got it over. So that will now make the score 7-0 in favour of the Flying Fijians. And the Australians, if they don't win this contest, their automatic Olympic qualification dreams will be over. They're sitting in fifth at the moment, but there's a high chance that the Samoans will be able to overtake them. And what time is New Zealand's game, says Kevin? It is going to be taking place at 9:53, I believe it was, or somewhere around there. Who are the best in these games? No zip about the sport, says Dennis. So the best team in this case, you'd have to say Fiji come in as the favourite. They are the defending Olympic champions. Commonwealth Games, they also managed to get themselves the gold medal, whereas for the Sevens World Cup, it was South Africa who were victorious. Now, a little bit of space down the wing here for Nathan Lawson, the big number 12 for the Aussies. It's their first real chance with the ball in hand. Big seller to dummy from Dietrich Roach as a double knock on, and the Fijians end up with the scrum feed now. Tell you what, Wale Saliso, he's looking fired up for this game. He has been making some very nice straight runs right next to the breakdown. And did South Africa crash out earlier in the tournament? They did indeed. They missed out on the quarterfinals. They are playing Japan And then if they win that game, they'll go on for the ninth place final. If they don't win that game, they'll go on for the 11th place final. And thanks, mate. Says Dennis, no worries. Fiji versus Australia, they've met just 4 times this season, and 2 of the wins decided, or 2 wins each decided by 7 points or less. So this should be a close game, according to the record books. Te Rea Tamani now going off the back again. Looked like a little bit of a slip there for Waisi and Natungu. So he gives it off to Motheno Thangi. Wasn't able to find that offload, even though he's still trying. Nathan Lawson doing his best to try and cut that off. Te Rea Tamani now goes out to Batita Ringa. Doesn't quite find the pass to My Samoa that he was after. Ball is loose. James Turner knocks that ball on. Advantage now in favour of the Fijians. Thought about the offload. Instead, My Samoa sets it and goes across to the left-hand side. They've lost quite a bit of ground here, Fiji, currently, but now their big run up the middle will certainly help them out. Maurice Longbottom makes the tackle. It's a missed chance for the Fijians. Picked up by Matthew Gonzalez. Now quick hands from Clements. Big shot on Nathan Lawson. Offloaded, and the Fijians steal it. Now My Samoa foot race with Dietrich Roche. Throws it back on the inside. Roche doing brilliantly, but he falls over. And Batita Ringa. Ball back on the inside to Manuele My Samoa, and he scores the try for Fiji. That is going to be their second of the contest. And Blitzbox really are disappointing. Bok fans are very upset, says Reuven. Come on, Fiji, says Jerry. Done brilliantly there, the Fijians. Nathan Lawson. In fact, it was actually Nick Maloof. He had the right idea by trying to find the offloading, but just didn't work out. Intruders rest up. Back at it again, Ruth. Says Nate. There as well, but Manuele My Samoa being very risky. We're trying to run it round to make it an easier kick, although Noam Waisi and Natungu, he enjoys kicking them from anywhere on the park, and he has a decent chance of getting them over. But yeah, unfortunately, the footwork is just a bit too strong from the big Fijian, and then found that offload to Manuele My Samoa. The kick from Natungu, he's actually missed it. It's a relatively straightforward kick. Actually, closer than the normal kicks that he does take, but the series offloads. My Samoa is sitting right up there with 56, just behind Dietrich Roche. He'll be possibly catching up with him here. And Tuolavu has said go in the chat as well. It's going to be kicked in behind. Ball sits up nicely now for Dietrich Roche. Slings it across to the left-hand side. Now Matthew Gonzalez. Quick hands from Nick Maloof. Henry Patterson with a bit of a stutter step there. Fends off Motheno Thangi. Now testing out his strength. Does end up slipping over, unfortunately, before he did get to Te Rea Tamani. Go Fiji, says Tassi. And there as well, ball out wide to Nathan Lawson. 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Now ball on the inside to Dietrich Roche. Tackle wide, Waisia Natungu. Offload. And also the advantage for the Australians. Kicked him behind. It is going to be advantage over. The ball does not bounce the way that he needed, but still found the offload to Maurice Longbottom. Now going to the left-hand side. Dietrich Roche with the step around Manuele My Samoa. Brilliant defense so far from Fiji, and Te Rea Tamani steals the ball in the breakdown. The Fijians now in possession. 15 seconds away from halftime. I hope you had a good rest in between hours. You're looking fresh today. Says Ruth, I managed about 6 hours sleep, which is probably pretty decent for a weekend overall. Looks like Fiji will just wait for the siren. You're not allowed to walk it out. Oh, you're normally not allowed to walk it out. What's happened there? I remember there was another game that happened not too long ago. I think you guys may remember it as well, some of you. But there was a player who purposely ran the ball into touch, and he got penalised for that. And the other team ended up with the ball. It didn't cost them in the end. It was actually the Kiwis. I think it might have been maybe Leroy Carter, as it slowly comes back to me. Whereas there, the Fijians ran it dead purposely, and they didn't end up getting penalised. So maybe there's something about how you're allowed to run it inside of your dead ball area. Not sure. Australia lose time, half time, and also changes rules again, says Blues Nate. Well, like they mentioned in that last game between Samoa and Argentina, they called one that they had never called before. And yeah, that's right, says Viniana. So you are allowed to run it dead in your own goal, but not allowed to run it out into touch on purpose. And did you cover Leinster? Great choke last night. I certainly did. Leinster, they started off with a hiss and a roar, 17 points to nil up against La Rochelle. And then La Rochelle came back, got themselves the victory, 26 points to 25. But currently in this one, 12 points to nil in favour of the Flying Fijians. It's a decent start to this contest, but They will certainly need more tries in the second half. And the final is Pumas All Blacks, says Ezekiel. And Aussies need to step it up again now, says Roof. Exactly right. They need to find that momentum. Like they had some quite nice play right at the end of that first half, but then it was shut down by Taria Tamani, who's been absolutely sensational for the Fijians throughout this London Sevens and also ever since he made his way into the side. Leinster too strong, says a Roof. Right. Fiji, I could hear the coach yelling there, 7 minutes. That's all they've got left. They just need the lead for that long. We've seen some great comebacks. And the Sevens did TKB outplay the Kiwi Leinster 9, do you think? I think Tawera Kurbalo was very solid throughout that game. Like Jameson Gibson Park, he actually gave away a penalty or two, kicked the ball out on the full. I would say he did, Kurbalo. And Ave? Is that Ave or Av? One of the two, I believe. But welcome into the live stream. Hope you are doing very well. That kick is going to be now in favour of the Fijians for kickoff here. Getting ready for the second half. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We will be covering the semi-final, which is just around the corner. It's going to be knocked on there by Fiji straight off kickoff. So Australia will have themselves the scrum. I should mention the winner of this game. They will go on to face up against the winner of New Zealand versus France. So at a stretch, there is a chance that we see Samoa versus Argentina on one side of the draw, New Zealand versus Fiji on the other. Those are two massive matchups taking place back to back. And we get the privilege of covering both of them. Samoa's in, let's go Fiji, says Tassi there. And all Pacific Island final would definitely be very entertaining. And let's go Samoa, says Solly. Ball on the outside now. Here comes Nathan Lawson flying down the wing. Great ankle tap there from Manueli Mai Samoa. New Zealand France replay from last week. There's Hanoi. Little bit of a loose ball there. Dietrich Roach manages to control it though. Matthew Gonzalez now going off. Tim Clements goes to the right-hand side. Henry Patterson dragged down by Morthen Othangi. It seems like Australia have come into the second half with a little bit more intensity. As if they have now decided it's time to play. Now Dietrich Roach trying to go around the outside of Wasina Thunu. Finds the offload up to Nathan Lawson. Ball on the outside to Roach again, waiting for the opportunity. Taken down by Nathan Lawson, but that will be the try for Matthew Gonzalez. Australia back into the contest. New Zealand France replay from last week, says Hanoi, exactly right. And we've seen quite a few replays of matches taking place. And Leinster came to a boxing match though on Haymaker. The French guy makes the comeback and dropped the guy, says Blues Nate. And also the final Pumas versus the All Blacks is the prediction from Ezekiel and also Salomi. Hopefully I said that correctly. Or Salomi, sorry, is said go Fiji. And thank you, Fiji, says Solly there. And Fiji will play in the final, says Jerry in there as well. And I will mention we are covering the final. We are covering the semis on the channel. Any sevens action that takes place, we have got it live right here. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It is hugely appreciated. Everyone being here for these live streams. The kick is unsuccessful from the Australians. So 12 points to 5 is how the score does remain. What time is Argentina versus Samoa? That game will be taking place at 12:33 a.m. New Zealand time. So in just under 3 hours' time when those two sides will be going head-to-head. It's going to be slapped back by the Aussies, but picked up nicely by Solio, I should say. Now Natovalo goes across to Natungu. You can't afford to give that man that much space. He's now started to work it away to Batita Ringa, who tries to fend off James Turner, but he is taken down nicely. Aussie got one. Says Revan, okay, thank you, says Chris. No worries at all. Now, looking at Massi. Looking for the fend on Josh Turner. Gets nailed in the tackle straight away. Goes ref. Tries to get the penalty in his favour. Now ball bounces out the back. Picked up again by Batita Ringa. Goes right next to that breakdown that did just take place. Ball chucked out the back. Fiji have got themselves the advantage. Taria Tamani trying to use some of that quick stepping that he has. Quick tap taken by Filippo Saturanga. Now offloaded back to Logan Amasi. The taller members of this Fijian side. Now the Talatholo is not playing. Great cellular dummy from Fiji. Taria Tamani it was. Now the ball bounces out the back. Another penalty goes the way of Fiji. And with 3.5 minutes remaining, if they can score now, perhaps they have a decent chance. And what's the USA time for the Samoa game, says Solly. So I'm not sure what the time is at the moment in the USA, but the easiest way to work it out would be add 2 hours 45 to whatever your current time is. and that will be when the kickoff is roughly. But as soon as these two quarterfinal live streams are over, we will be scheduling those next ones, so we will have it up on the channel so you know exactly when to tune in. Also, go boys, says Salome there for the Samoa. Oh, no, already that one. And go Fiji, says Tobalavo. Fiji have scored 7 of their 15 tries from a restart this weekend, leading all teams. Tuwai, man, oh, yeah, Jerry Tuwai now making his way out onto the park. Looks like Batita Renga going to be given way for him. Unless, of course, they're thinking about making a second change here for the Fijians. But now the scrum. 3 minutes 30, still a very long time in sevens. 3 a.m. right now. So, yeah, you'll be looking at around that kind of 5:30 a.m. mark, somewhere around there. Now, a nice run from Jerry Tuwai. Taken down by Maurice Longbottom right next to the breakdown. Logan Amasi going to the right-hand side. Nice straightening run there from the Fijians. Logan Amasi moves up to the 22. Nice tackle made by Kai Oates. Got a lot of hair under that headgear, so he holds it all together inside of it. Now a nice step from Tamani. Close to the touchline. Moving up to the 22 now, though, for Fiji. Going to the right-hand side. YC and Nathungu. Going now on the outside to Nadovalo. Pins the ears back. And he will score the try for Fiji. And it may almost be enough to put the icing on the cake for the Fijians in this matchup. But there is still a chance for the Aussies to fire back. Fiji cannot take their foot off the gas here. Still 2.5 minutes. Another try after this could be absolutely massive for them. But they are now leading 17 points to 5 with just one more kick to come to make it the extra 2. Giving them a nice 19 points to 5 lead. But another Falo, so quick with the way that he is able to charge through. Does score the try. By the time this kick is taken, it will be 2 minutes remaining on the clock. It's gone over. 19 points to 5 from Argentina. And Tierra de Messi. And also, what more? Says Tubalavu. Yeah, one more will secure it for Fiji. We've seen sides score in 10 seconds in a game of sevens. It's all about using up as much time as they can now for Fiji. They are taking their time with this kickoff. Rietamani always gets such great height on his kickoffs. Gets them high. Slapped back by the Australians. Now Turner goes across to Coyotes. Ball on the outside to Henry Patterson, looking to use it on this near side of the field. Big shot coming into Rietamani, almost knocked himself out. That's a loose ball though. And I see Nathungu finds the pass. One more for Fiji. All they need to do is cross this line and they will be going through to the quarterfinals, or in fact the semifinals. This competition is flying by. Jerry Tuwai dropped the ball backwards. The thing that gave it away was he looked at the ref. And as soon as he looked at the ref went, oh, maybe he knocked it on because he was checking. And Aussies won't make it unless it's a miracle. Says a roof there and go, come on, man. Says a Tupalavu. A big bump off from Henry Patterson. Tried to find that offload, and unfortunately for them, it was just that little touch of Wale Saliso managed to stop it from happening. Now, Dietrich Roach with 46 seconds remaining. The Aussies will be 25 metres out from their own line. A long way to go. So Mothino Thangi actually making his way back onto the field now. Fijians rotating stocks in terms of who is in that scrum. Creates Fiji, says a roof. So they will be going on to face up against either New Zealand or France. Whoever wins their next contest. But now, Dietrich Roach has made his way off the field. I think he is going to be a key for the Aussies in their next game. They will actually be playing up against the loser of New Zealand versus France. Another penalty one for the Fijians. So pretty much what I was meaning there is now if you're Australia, you don't want to risk injury at the end of this contest. You know that you haven't won it, even though they do want to keep on fighting for a little bit longer, although it looks like the Fijians might be happy enough to take the scrum after the knock-on, kick the ball out, and then we'll move on to the next matchup, which will be France versus New Zealand. That is going to be another awesome game in these sevens quarterfinals. And thank you, sir, for your great service. Says Solly, no worries at all. We've got plenty more coming tonight. We have got the matchup between Samoa and Argentina. We've got now Fiji taking on the winner of New Zealand or France. Be sure to keep an eye out for that. Jerry Tuwai, referee, has just told him, stop talking to me. Must be chatting away in his ear, but Nathunu kicks the ball out, and the Fijians, they make their way through to the quarterfinals. That will be, oh, sorry, to the semis. I keep on saying quarters. It just seems like this game and this competition has just gone too fast. And New Zealand are just pure class. Leroy Carter, good Pumas. Danger Men, though, says Roof, and Aussie's better team, says Tony, although not quite in this scenario. The Fijians getting themselves to the 19-5 victory. Next game that we are going to be covering on the channel will be New Zealand versus France, which is just around the corner. But if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It is hugely appreciated, everyone being here for this stream. Yeah, we'll see you all for the next one.